Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk you through our rental kitchen renovations. This has honestly felt like it has gone on forever, and in reality it probably has gone on for a very long time, but I'm so excited to show you the progress from where we started to the completed finished look. Honestly, I'm so excited to show you guys. I would recommend right now sitting down, getting comfy, going to make a beverage of your choice. It is like a short film, this video, so please, I'll wait here patiently for you to go and make a drink. But I wanted to make sure I got everything in for you, which is why it's gone on for so long. I tried to edit as much as possible but without too much editing, so that you weren't missing some of the good bits and like anything that was helpful and inspirational. Are we all good? Drink in hand? Ready to go? Excellent. So I think we should start off with why we're doing the rental renovation. If you are long-time followers of my blog, I will leave a link down below if you want to go and check out any of those posts that I've written or anything like that. You will have known that when we first moved into this home, we actually did a kitchen renovation prior. I will show you befores and afters. This one, unfortunately, I didn't document or film it at the time. It was way before I started the YouTube channel, unfortunately. But the idea was just to get rid of, the plot line is get rid of the pine was basically the story of the renovation. We did this about a year ago, and over time, as you can kind of see in these clips of the before kitchen, everything just got a little bit grotty, everything just started to wear and tear, and it really was because we did a sort of, I wouldn't say we did an amazing job, I wouldn't say we did a terrible job. I would just say that everything we did, we probably didn't do to a T. It was get that paint on and get it looking pretty ASAP. So my goal with this kitchen, to this renovation, was to make sure everything was done completely professional as much as I can. You know, over time I've learned a lot more about interiors and DIY and everything like that, and I felt really confident I could take on a big rental renovation, as I'm calling it. The second part of it was thanks to my parents. So during this time of year, obviously not many of us have been travelling, and that goes for my parents. My parents are people who I aspire to be when I'm older in terms of their lifestyle they live at the moment. As much as I make fun of them, I mean, these people, when I say go on holiday every month, they go on holiday every month. They're at that level in life, and I'm just in awe of it. I'm just like, you go Glen Coco. Anywho, this year unfortunately they haven't been able to go away, and with that money they've just decided to do their house up. So it started with a couple of things like a new sofa set and everything like that, and it turned into a full-on kitchen renovation, which I've seen pictures, it's looking gorgeous. And with that, they actually were giving away their old fridge freezer, and that is what inspired us to gut our kitchen. So with them saying, would you like our fridge freezer compared to the old one we had, I was fully prepared to take it up and go, yeah, absolutely. And with that came about, okay, well, this needs to change to fit that in there, this, that and the other. And this is where we said, let's just gut it from the ground up as much as we can. I do want to inject here with a quick kind of PSA, let's call it, a rental PSA. I know that doing up a rental is not everybody's cup of tea, and I fully appreciate that. We can agree to disagree on this point, it's absolutely fine. For me though, this is a long-term rental, and this is work that I'm willing to do. Especially kind of during now, I realised the value of living in a house that feels lovely, and I was willing to put the money in and put the time in to do it up. I also had permission from my landlord to do everything, and she was happy to do so. I'm very lucky in that sense that I have a landlord that's willing for me to just kind of get on and do stuff. I again realise that some people may think it's a waste of time, waste of money. Me personally, it's not. And I just think we have to agree to disagree if that is your opinion on it. But if you are in a position of renting and you want to do something similar, you do not have to do everything that I did in this video. There are little things that you can do that don't break the bank and can be easily removed at the end of the day. It's absolutely fine. I would also say this is for anybody who isn't like my parents and can afford like a full-on kitchen renovation. If you need to just give a new lease of life into your kitchen, Hopefully these tips will help you, inspire you. With that caveat over, let's get into the full rental renovation. Okay, so starting point of assessing everything and realizing what we need to do. There was one thing that I have always wanted to do, and that is create a feature wall. We have this wall in the kitchen, which is basically a blank space. All it has on it is the lights to the kitchen and a door that leads down to the cellar/basement. It's just been a blank wall, a blank space that we tried to attempt to put some pictures upon, but couldn't because of it being solid brick and we didn't have the necessary tools at the time. But it's just always been this kind of space of, yeah, emptiness and just not inspiring. So something that I have really been inspired by is board and batten. I love the look of it, and I love something as simple as that can bring some interest to the room. Now I knew my husband wasn't going to get on board with it if he had to do it. So the goal was to do this board and batten wall before he got home. So one Saturday while he was at work, I got up bright and early and I headed down to B&Q and I got everything I needed to do and got started on this board and batten wall. Kind of want to explain my thinking here. So it's looking really good. Like, I know it's silly to say because there's only 2 boards on it, but it is actually looking really nice. My only thing is obviously there's going to be gaps because this wall is not equal. There's like, I can see a gap here, which is fine because we'll caulk it. I'm just hoping the glue dries soon, but it's looking pretty decent. I mean, this one's holding on nicely. So what I'm thinking is actually, I think I want to do a couple of pieces and box this bit out because it looks a bit weird. It's already created interest and I'm very happy with this. So I think it'll look better if I did box out the switches and sockets. We shall see. We're gonna move on to the next wall. Which is perfectly fine. There's still a bit of, I'll see if I can show you the bowing. You can see there, like it's perfectly straight, but there's bowing, which is fine because decorators caulk will do it. Here I'm just gonna have to fill with some like wood filler or something like that, just to get rid of those gaps. But if we turn, oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm just really excited. You know when you have an idea in your head and you think it might work and you're not quite sure, this is just, yeah, this is doing it. Oh my God, I'm really excited. Right, so she's looking gorgeous. I mean, I'm really happy. Absolutely. Let me just step over the upwards. Like, oh, she looks so good. There are a few bits that we need to address as the next part of the makeover. The first being these bits here. So I think because you can see them, I think I need to put the wood long enough this side. This will be the same for this one, because again, you can see it. Normally I wouldn't bother, like I'm not going to bother with these ones, which I'll show you, which will be step 2. However, because you can see it from the loop, I think it definitely needs those 2 bits in place. So step 2 for the radiator is to get small pieces for these 2 to come up so it looks like it goes all the way down. Step 3 will be the filling in, caulking. So I might have to get actual polyfiller rather than caulking to fill the big gaps up. Step 4 is to do these switches are grotty, I need to clean them. But step 4 is to frame this bit up, and then tomorrow that's when I'm going to come in with the adhesive caulk. Well, maybe not tomorrow, maybe another day. Basically, another day we'll come in with the adhesive caulk and fill all the gaps here, you know, seams here, like make it all smooth. So as you can see, the board and batten wall went up very easy. I just used no more nails and it was all done and completed. It was all finalised apart from the caulking. literally the minute my husband got home. He was shocked that I managed to pull this off, and obviously I did all this work in this time. He wasn't expecting it, but ultimately he was very happy with the progress and the fact that he didn't have to lift a finger to do something. So it was a win-win all around. I was getting my interest wall, it was gonna happen, and my husband was happy that he didn't have to break his back doing it. With this next step done, I knew it wouldn't be completed until we got to the final bit of painting, which I wasn't gonna do anytime soon until everything else needed to be painted. So I knew this was gonna be an uncompleted project for a bit of a while. So while that was happening, I decided to do a different painting job, and that was to paint our kitchen door. Now I know people are going to be so upset because everyone loves my pretty pink kitchen door. I love it too, but it just wasn't going with the theme that I had for this space. So ultimately it was time to say goodbye to pretty pink door and paint it back white. Okay, a few quick updates to make you aware of, although I feel like nothing's really kind of changed at the moment. So Sunday, I filled in more of this, like there were a few gaps kind of like forming here and stuff like that. They seem to be done fine, but I've still got these kind of cave bits from where the gaps were. So I need to work on filling those. That's kind of that update on the woodwork side, but I'm really happy with how it's looking. I just want to paint it now. So as you can see here, the door has been frog taped up, ready to paint. So I'm going to paint the whole door white. We're going to do the skirting, like the kind of moulding bit around it another day. So the person who wants everything done like right now in me is really wanting to have this completed a lot quicker than it's going. Obviously, I'm taking my time with it. I really rushed the pink last time because I really just wanted to get a pink door up, and it was great from afar, but up close you could tell it was a rough job. So I'm really taking my time with this. So it's killing me, but it's gonna look great. This corner already looks really bright. Like, I love the pink door. It will always have a place in my heart, but this angle, because obviously the light's coming at you, it always seemed really dark. With this white on, even with it being so patchy, it's already such a brighter corner. It's a real good decision that we've made here. So definitely going to let that dry for an hour, get on with the next coat, dry another coat, leave it overnight and see how it's doing. So I managed to get that job done in literally a day. I used one of my days off just to kind of plough through it and get on and get that sorted. It took a couple of coats as you saw, but ultimately it was done very quick and easy. So these little bits that I've done have been very remote projects. I haven't sort of had any impact on the full-on kitchen bit of it. It's literally been pieces that I have been able to do, and it's not disrupted our lives. Now was the time to start with the disruption. What we were about to do now was going to cause some aggro. It was going to be the time that everything was going to kick in, and that was the part where we built the built-in section. So when restrictions lifted, my dad and I planned for him and my mum to come up so they could help me with this major bit of the build. There was just one bit of it where I needed my dad's expertise as a jack of all trades to help me get this bit sorted and just kind of get a start on the project so that I could then take it through to the end of it. This part was the built-in. I had this vision. I will insert a few pictures here for inspirations of if I was going to have this big fridge that was just going to kind of sit in the middle of this alcove space. There was going to be so much wasted space around it that I needed to do some built-ins. The other caveat is with this side of things is that there are literally 2 double plugs in this kitchen, and that is it. There's no other plug sockets, which is crazy to me to think that a kitchen has that limited amount of electricity, especially when you think about the appliances that you have. So these plugs, one of them was on one side of the alcove and the other was on the other. The other 2 were taken up with the toaster and the kettle in my head. This was where they were going to live. And I knew that one of the other plugs had to be where the fridge and the fridge freezer would be plugged into. This left a plug that was floating in the middle of the wall, not near anything, and would be going unused. So the idea that I had was to build this kind of built-in, but have a space that the coffee machine could live in. It's a small little piece, and I figured it could just slot in there and that's where it could live, and then that would be my little coffee moment. And this was where my dad had to help me out with some measurements, some planning of how I could do this built-in that attached to the wall and everything like that, that the fridge could just slide into. Before all that happened though, There was a little bit of DIY that we had to do in order to get that sorted, and that was take this cabinet down, this upper that we had on the wall. So this is where my husband and I spent an evening taking this down. And boy did it lead to some couple arguments. I will save you the beefs coming up on it, but just when you're watching these sort of time lapses, just know some of the conversations that are happening as we're taking this down.
Let go. Looks to his left. Nice.
The walls aren't that badly damaged. They look like owls.
In the edit, we did it smoothly.
Okay, so the cabinet came down. I was a bit worried that literally the only thing holding it up were these things. Bit concerning. And if you wondered why we did a makeover before, this was the original wall colour everywhere. So you can see why we invested in some white emulsion. Do you actually remember the kitchen being this colour with the pine everywhere?
I don't think it was ever this dark. Or if it was, I don't remember.
If you ever thought about, oh, it's not worth sometimes doing stuff to rentals, this just proves it. This white emulsion, we've still got a tub downstairs. It's done like almost half the house. We've only bought ever 2 since we started doing these makeovers. But it was like 20 quid for like 10 litres. And the difference it makes, like I can show it right here. Like it makes a difference. Yeah, I think we're gonna have some pasta because I think we've gone a bit delirious. We took a walk and then decided to do this before it got too late. So we're gonna get some food in us, clean everything up. And then we're gonna work on filling up the holes, and then I think what we're going to start doing is like we're going to take this down, I'm going to take the frames down, that frame down. Ugh, look how messy this kitchen is. This gives me a bit of anxiety, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Hey guys, so it's Sunday the 6th of September. It's in the evening now. We've done a full day of DIY, me and my dad. Sorry that I didn't film any of it. It just would have been impossible. It was raining, so we had to do everything inside this tiny, tiny kitchen, and it was a bit impossible, and I knew my dad wouldn't be comfortable being on camera and stuff, so I just didn't bother setting anything up or anything like that. But what we have been working on is this bad boy. So I'll show you a few kind of close-ups of it and everything like that. But essentially we've been building out sort of the built-in that's going to surround the fridge. The materials that we've used so far are bits of my dad's new kitchen that my mum and dad are getting in their house. So they had spare parts, so hopefully they don't need to use because we've cut them up. But they gave me that to basically create like a kind of side. And then as you can kind of see, slash can't, but I'll show you the close-ups, it's all gonna get enclosed and then fixed to the wall. So there's only gonna be one solid wall, if that makes sense, and then it's all gonna be attached. Essentially what we're doing is using plinths. So again, I'll insert close-ups, it might make more sense, but we're building, to make the shelves, we're doing like a piece of wood attached to the wall, a piece of wood attached to this tool board, and then a piece of wood on top, and then I'm gonna do a piece of wood at the front to make it look solid. So if you really looked under the cupboard, you'd be able to see it wasn't a complete shelf, but this would make it look kind of like a chunky shelf kind of thing. So there's still a lot to go, obviously. We still need to do the upper bit. I need to put in the shelves, and I actually need to fix it all together and then create a plug hole so that we can feed the wire at the back for the fridge when it comes through and everything. But it's great. It's created this little cubby for the coffee machine. My dad did suggest maybe trying out creating something where like the coffee machine could be pulled out on like a pull drawer, which did give me some ideas. So maybe I'll have a little look, and he's given me loads of like scrap wood for me to use. So yeah, lots of things to kind of get sorted and everything like that. But yeah, I feel like a lot of this I can kind of get on with now. I feel a bit more confident to do so. So just to quickly jump in here, you would have heard at the beginning of this video when I said that my mum and dad were giving us a fridge freezer from their old kitchen as they were getting an integrated one in their brand new sparkling one. This then changed really quickly when my dad realised that the cost to kind of get this fridge up, because obviously need to rent a van, etc, will just not be worth it. So as amazing as my parents are, they decided to buy us a fridge freezer and just said, here you go. You can have this, we promise you this, but we're actually just going to get you a brand spanking new one. It was such a lovely gift of them, and it made me so much more excited to get this project done. So the next clip you're about to see is our new baby being delivered. Well, today is a very, very special day. It's so big and shiny. Very quick update while we're here. So Lee's just behind the fridge freezer now, filling in some holes. Hello. So whilst he's doing that, because we realised we put it in and then we were like, hang on, there's a whole wall to paint behind it. I don't know why we didn't think to do that, but we didn't. Or rather someone else did and I didn't listen. I'm getting the hints. He's going to do that and he's going to paint halfway basically to, to where it is. I would honestly say that this next part of the renovation wasn't my favourite bit. This was sort of the lull in between everything, whereby everything was just taking its time. Everything just didn't seem to be going right. I just seemed to have no time in the day, but ultimately I'd set myself this deadline of I want to get it done by this date because I don't want to keep this going on forever. So this involved a lot of late nights of just fixing little bits and just gradually doing things a little at a time. It took a while, but ultimately I'm happy that I kind of went this way because it got the job done in the end. So the bit that took the most time was probably doing this built-in. As you would have heard, my dad helped me kind of make the main bit of it that I knew that I would be able to fix to the wall, and this would sort of be the support centre so that it wouldn't collapse and it ultimately would help weight everything down. The next part of it was essentially me building the rest of it, and that involved building the carcass up to the top, creating that top bit and then putting in the shelving. This was the bit that took the longest. As I said, little and often, but it was a big project for one person to do, but I ultimately stuck at it, and as you can see, the progress of it really started to come along really nicely. Very quick DIY update. I've just done this little project this evening. So that shelf that I had built with my dad, I just filled out the underneath bit so you can't see the planks of wood. I mean, if you really want to get picky with it, you can go under here and see it, but from a point of view, it just looks like one big chunky shelf. I've also polyfilled the gap. There was a slight gap, so I've just filled it with this magical stuff. The polyfiller, highly recommend this stuff, it's really good. So that's pretty much all done and dusted. I think I'm going to leave the rest of the DIY for now. The only things really to do here is to do a shelf across there, so that pushes that back, and then the top board across the fridge. So that's the kind of major bits that need doing. And then I need to just decide probably about a shelf about here and then a shelf about here. I'd have to probably measure cookbooks because this seems to be the best place for the cookbooks at the moment. But it's getting there slowly, guys. Very slowly. One evening at a time. So would you like to explain to the viewers what we did here exactly?
A generous helping of paint stripper. Left it for about half an hour, leave it for longer. And then after that you just get a blade. Okay, there you go. What do you need?
So this paint stuff we're going to use on here. We're doing it on like the fixed section. So the stuff like the doors, we probably will just sand. We'll do this section here. There is a paneling bit here that we will do also, and then probably this will. So continuing on with the lull of the project, the stripping part of the paint was just driving me insane. The impatient part of me just wanted to paint all over the white and just do it, but I knew that if we wanted to avoid it chipping and looking like it was going grotty before, just, you know, anytime soon, we were going to have to really strip it down, sand it and everything like that. About a week or two out from completing the project, this is where the little bits started to happen, and ultimately I had to pull everything out and put it in my living room. So you'll see me have a mini meltdown on camera about all the mess in my living room now. And this is the other side of things that is really freaking me out. So while you guys just see nice, pretty side on Instagram, know that I've been living with this mess here that's about to get worse once we empty everything out, which is why I think I've been putting off doing bits of makeups, because I'm like, oh, getting to that final bit of the makeover. But we need to just jump over the hurdle, so. Good morning, guys. It is very early. If you can't tell by tired eyes, can't be arsed hair, and espresso that I'm now nursing quite quickly. It is Saturday the something of October and we're in the final stretches. We're about a week out. This time next week I want this whole thing completed, and we are close. We've done a lot of the manual labour work this week. There's just a little bit more to go. I think it could be done by this literally this weekend, so that the rest of the week is just paint. And then once that's done, I get to come in and style, which I'm very, very happy about. So what we got up to in terms of everything. So my husband has stripped most of the cabinets and the doors and everything like that. I think literally the only thing he's got to do is the shelving unit that's literally down here next to me, and that is done. I think he might be doing that this evening or tomorrow evening. Unfortunately, he's working all weekend, so it is literally just one-man show right now in terms of doing the work this weekend. I have, I'll give you a proper look, but I have completed the built-in, and I nearly cried, I'm not gonna lie. I was so happy last night when I put up the final plinths and put the top piece on top, and just kind of looked at it, stepped back and looked at it, and I was like, I built this. I know I had some help at the beginning, but I built the majority of this, and I was just like, damn, I'm a badass. So I've literally got the board here next to me. I put a coat so that the underneath bit is already painted once I fix it in place. I just literally have to screw this in, which I am going to do now. My goals for today, as well as doing that, is to paint the insides of everything white. So it's a good day for DIY because there's not much else to do. Managed to screw it in. Unfortunately, I can't do the last two screws because vertically challenged me cannot reach the back. It's literally the story of my life. So I'm gonna do the filling that I need to do up there, and then wait until my husband gets home and get him to screw in the last two screws. I've done a very rough coat here of the white. If I go up close, you can see how it's starting to dry really patchy, but that is fine. It's better just to get the base coat on now. Oh, wait. Would we like to focus? There we go. It's better to get like the base coat on now, and then once I come over with the final, I reckon it's going to take at least 2 or 3 coats. That's when I'll get the roller out and use it to create more of a smooth finish. Instantly, I'm just like, how bright does this corner look? I was really worried because obviously there's not a lot of light over this side, that it's going to be quite a dark, dingy corner, but I think we're okay. So last Monday was literally when we got down and dirty with the painting and stuff. When I say I painted pretty much all day, every day, that was literally how it felt. Like I had mapped out exactly when certain things needed to be done, when certain things needed to have the second coat and stuff like that. So literally I had it planned up until the Friday night. It was in my head that the Friday night would be the last coat on the board and batten, and then everything else would fall into place. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of footage from these evenings. I was literally getting up at 6 AM and foregoing a workout in order to do an hour's worth of painting before I got ready for work, and then in the evenings it was literally working up until it was dark. So there's not much great footage, but I will insert a few clips here of me just getting down and painting as much as I can. Good morning from Egghead, nerdy Egghead. I'm just about to start work and I'm wearing a different colour other than cream. This is the week that I have been doing the editing of the vlogs and stuff, and I've just noticed every clip I'm wearing creams. I'm like, okay. It is the morning. My husband has the day off, so he's been putting hard at work, doing all the sanding and the painting and everything like that. I got up early this morning and finished off painting the insides of the uppers and the cabinets and the drawers and everything. This is pretty much done. The cabinet behind you guys, nearest the kitchen door, needs a final coat, and then I need to start on the insides of the drawers. You're right there, Slim Shady. So before he cracks on with that, I wanted to show off the paint to you guys that we've chosen to paint the cabinets in. I realised in the editing of all the vlogs and stuff, which is what I've been doing pretty much all these late evenings this week, is that I've never actually shown you what we chose, like as the final colour and stuff. So we went with coat paint. I am going to put a little ad here. This isn't in a collaboration with them at all, but they did give me a discount code to buy the paint, so I felt it was right to let you guys know. But I was smitten once I got the sample, so I was fully prepared to pay full price for this paint. It was just a lovely surprise and nice of them to give me something. So as you can see, the paint itself comes in a duster bag, which I am fully on board with. Oh, someone else is doing DIY. Sorry if you can hear a very industrial sander. The tins themselves, one second. It's very hard to do one-handed. These are the tins themselves. Obviously we've got 3 small tins because we've gone with wood paint, but they do the larger emulsion ones and stuff like that. And the colour we went with is called, this is the colour that we went with. It's called Good Intentions. I'll link everything down below. These are actually the samples that you get. You don't get like a little card or anything, or a little painting. You get a full-on sample size, and it's a sticker. So this was how we were able to move it across the room and see that it was the perfect colour for us. So, I mean, given the signal that my husband is getting impatient and wants to start painting, so I'm gonna leave him to crack on with that, and I will come back to you later once I start doing some painting. So all the doors on this side have had their final coat. They're looking gorgeous. I had a bit of paint left over, so I decided to paint this section of the board and batten just because I thought, oh, that'd be enough. I'm still confused as to why this colour here, that colour there, and this colour here is all the same paint, but none of it's the same. It's actually making me giggle because I'm like, I know it's on different surfaces, but I'm like, how is this so vastly different? I mean, I like it now that's dried. I'm like, okay, I thought there wasn't a contrast, and now I'm just looking at it through the camera at the 2 different things. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a different contrast now. Good morning, everyone. Today is the Saturday before you're seeing this video, and it is literally the final countdown. We are literally moments away from actually completing this kitchen makeover. I have so much planned today, but the main things to do are to finish off a final design touch, which I can't wait to talk to you about literally in about a couple of seconds, and also styling up. Yes, it is echoey in here, and that is because I've taken everything out of the kitchen. And when I say everything, I mean absolutely everything. With us doing up this kitchen, I thought this is the perfect time to reorganize, rejig everything so that it works smartly for us. Originally, when we moved in, we just threw everything in place. I had a bit of an organization thing, but I didn't really change anything up. And then when we did our last kitchen makeover, nothing really came out of the cupboards, everything pretty much stayed the same. So I was like, for this makeover, I just want to start again and completely do everything. So this is where we're at today. All the painting has been done and it looks amazing. I cannot wait to show it all off to you. We put the doors back on, we put the new hardware on, which is gorgeous. I'll link everything down below if you are interested. And yeah, we are literally moments away. My living room looks horrific. If I thought I was stressed before with the amount of stuff, we are at like DEFCON 5 in terms of I'm about to freak out with how much stuff is in my room. And today also it's going to be Postmaster Central in here. I have so many Amazon orders on its way, which I'm really excited about because it's all organisation stuff, but it is just going to get fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller in here. But it's okay because at the end, it's going to be a beautiful kitchen. Although I've just realised could really do with some coffee, and the coffee machine isn't plugged in and there's no way I can get it near anytime soon, so that might have been an oversight on my side. I might have to go to my local coffee shop and get some takeaway coffee just to keep going. So the final piece of the decor that needs to be done is fixing up the tiles in the backsplash behind me. Now, whenever I've posted my kitchen on Instagram, all of you guys have loved the colour of the tiles, but for me, I don't vibe with green unless it's a plant. It's just never been a colour in my sort of universe that I kind of go towards. So I really wanted to change this up. There are a million ways that you can change it up, but short of retiling, the best renter-friendly way for myself was to go with tile stickers. So this is where I've been on the hunt for. And when I say like over a year, it's literally been since we finished last Makeover, because I was like, I need to find the perfect tile sticker that I want to use in this home. And I finally found one, and I'm so happy to be working with this brand on this. So this is a gifted PR product little ad space here, but these tiles were gifted to me and I am so excited to put them up in my home. So I found the perfect tile at Home Art Stickers. They're a great little site. They have a lovely little Instagram page and a fabulous Etsy shop where you can shop literally millions of different stickers, vinyls, anything you need to sort of temporarily cover up your space and stuff. The ones I picked are beautiful. I absolutely love them. But there is a catch to it because they're a little bit crazy, but I love them. So when you order them, your little delivery comes like this, and these are the stickers. So we've got this little guy, this little guy, this little guy, and this little guy. There's 4 different patterns, and I am the only person who knows how this pattern is gonna go. I jokingly gave it to my husband and said, you figure it out. He was like, no, this is too stressful. You just need to do this on your own. So while he is at work, I'm gonna tile up my kitchen space and I'm gonna put the kitchen back together. So yeah, I'm gonna install these now. I say install, it's literally peel, stick and everything like that. I haven't actually ever done this before, apart from my contact paper that I did to cover up our counter spaces, which has lasted a lifetime. So I'm so excited for these to be just as good. The idea is obviously you peel it off, you get like a squidgy, and you just run it down, make sure there's no air bubbles or anything like that. I will insert a clip here to kind of show you what we're working with, but we have essentially some full tiles, which is great, but we also have some half tiles, some cut-offs and stuff like that, so that's what we've got to deal with. So my idea is to run with all the full tiles first and then fill in the gaps with the other bits and bobs. I think it's going to take a while, but I'm going to put Legally Blonde on in the background, just for some happiness, and I think this is going to be boshed out within an hour or so. First thing I need to do though is plan out my pattern. So let's just have a little go at what I'm thinking. Okay, can you see me? This is a really weird angle for me to sit at, but I have basically done a mini pattern for this area. It took longer than I realised because I was like looking at the whole space. So I'm going to do this little mini pattern and then carry on this way. So, okay, so where do we start? I think let's just go bottom. Idea is peel and stick. This cannot be this hard, but the perfectionist in me is like, do not mess this up. Oh my god, these are so easy to install. Okay, I am getting there now. Sorry, I'm in the dark, backlight and stuff. I've done 3. I've realised you don't even need this. This is so easy to put on the tile, but it's just being precise and like lining everything up and not like that. But already, I'm loving the difference this is making. I'm going to continue, and hopefully in a moment this will all be covered. In fact, should we do like a little thing? Okay, so 3, 2, 1. There we go. So I've completed this section. Oh my god, it looks so good on camera. It looks so good in person. I'm so happy. So I've completed this section. I have left obviously these bits out, which I'm just going to do with an X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to continue the pattern of the full tiles along this bit. So cue time lapse of me continuing the backsplash. Now I've got about 2 hours-ish until my husband gets home, maybe 3 at the most, so pressure is on to decorate this space. I've got a lot to do, so my goal of getting everything perfect, it's a bit far reach, but you know, aim for the stars and all that. Just had a lunch break and a coffee break, and I watched the new episode of Studio McGee, a TV show that's on Netflix. Guys, you have to check it out. It's so good. They are one of my favorite like interior accounts on Instagram. I just love their blog and everything like that. and I've already got ideas brimming in my head of exactly what I want to do, so I am excited. Sorry, I can't stop looking in the viewfinder at how pretty the tile is looking. So yeah, I am going to crack on with some decor now, starting with filling this chimney behind me back up with artwork. Good morning everyone. I was up until God knows what hour, organising, tidying, styling, everything. I'm trying to keep a really close crop, so it's all a surprise to you, but literally everything's completed. So without any further wait, let's reveal the kitchen in 3, 2, 1. With this kitchen, it was worth every blood, sweat and tears that went into it. Honestly, it's just beautiful. I cannot stop looking at little like styling moments and just little corners of it, and hopefully the way we've organised it and everything, it will flow so much better for us and we'll just want to spend more time in here, which was absolutely the goal, as well as making it look beautiful. So do hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much if you got to the end. I know this is like a movie worth of content, and I do appreciate if you did watch to the end to see the reveal. Please do like, leave a comment, let me know which part of the kitchen is your favourite, if there's anything you want to try in your rental kitchen, or just generally giving your small kitchen an update without spending a whole load of money to like completely bulldoze it and start again. And do subscribe to the channel and let me know kind of what content you want to see. I do have an organisation video coming up, literally going to talk you through how I organise the kitchen and everything like that. But yeah, thank you so much guys for all your support, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye!